Hi, John Griffin here with another little tip brought to you by myuleenterprises.com. And this is sort of a geek tip and also sort of a marketing tip because it affects both, but it's not geek so much that you have to do a lot of code. But basically, if you want your website to work both mobile and traditional, you need to make sure your videos are also what we call responsive, or they're fluid. They move with the size of the screen. And I notice a lot of people may have a great theme that looks good on mobile, but their videos from YouTube or wherever, they don't size correctly. But I'm going to show you a little trick in WordPress, a plugin, and I've tried a lot of them because I do a lot of video. But this one little plugin will help you out. It'll make your videos size down without any extra work on your part once you set it up, which is very, very easy. But to start off, I'm going to show you a little demonstration. So here's my website, my personal one, and as you can see on the full screen computer, everything's fine. It stays within my nice boundary of my columns. So what I'm going to do is show you what happens if you resize. And right now everything's set up to work correctly. I just want you to see exactly what I mean. So say we make this smaller, that's still a big size, right? But we could go, pretend we're in a smaller screen, and you notice that that video is getting smaller and smaller, and it'll only go to a certain point, but right there is probably about what a mobile phone would be. So if you look here, you can see it's still playable, it's still usable, and then as we go back up to full screen size, we're back. And you notice also my theme is also what you call responsive, so the text moved down and things were in the right order. Right now I'm mostly using Shoestrap, but in this case I'm actually using a Genesis theme, and it works just as well. You got to make sure that you're using a responsive theme. That's the buzzword. A lot of the Genesis themes aren't, but as I said, I'm mainly going to use Shoestrap from now on because that's using the Bootstrap Twitter, and I know Twitter's going to be maintaining that for a long time. I know they're a tiny little company, but just as a side note, but Genesis works. Most of the new themes are going to be responsive. Just make sure it says that. In this case, I just never bothered to update. It's not a big deal on my personal site. So what am I using? You can see right here that I'm using what's called FitVids for WordPress. So you can just look up FitVids, F-I-T-V-I-D-S. What we'll do is we'll deactivate FitVids for WordPress, and if we go here, we'll refresh, and you can see I have my normal tiny generic YouTube embed code, and that's what shows up. Of course, there's ways on YouTube to make it bigger by default. I just left the generic one in there, but you'll also notice as I get smaller that now it's running off the edge. You can see here, even though that looks pretty good, it's still running off the edge, and now it's even less. So that's why you want to have this responsive with your video. So we'll go back up here and let's activate FitVids for WordPress. And so we'll go here to Appearance, which is not your normal place for settings, and you go to FitVids. And the only thing you have to put in there is body. You could put post, but I basically don't do that. You can add the jQuery from Google if you want. Most of the new WordPress stuff already has that, but it doesn't hurt. We'll save the changes, and then we'll go see what happened. Alright, so now you can see we're back to our large size, and if we get smaller again, it all fits in there. Granted, it's right by the side, but that's because it's a browser. If you were on your cell phone, it would look a tiny bit different, but that's just a good test you can check out. So that's a quick and easy way to add a simple plugin and make your site completely responsive if you have a responsive theme. So now you don't have to worry about your videos looking very strange on certain devices. So I hope that helps.